The time has finally come where I disclose the whole process I use to record and edit my reels that has made me hit over 100,000 followers on Instagram and over 9,000 followers on TikTok, I believe. So I think it should hit over 9,000 now. Yes, this is how I did everything, and I'm here to disclose it to you since you've all been asking me. So let's dive into the first thing. Alright, so the first software is OBS. Okay, that's what I use to record my screen and all of those things. So just search for OBS, and it's a free software, okay, or an open source software, which means that it's free and they have a lot of people globally who help to develop this and make it better. So once you come to obsproject.com, you should see the various distributions. Okay, so if you're on Windows, make sure you're downloading the Windows version. If you're on Mac, make sure you are on the Mac version. If you're on Linux, make sure you are on the Linux version. All right, to download what favors your PC. All right, and once it's downloaded, make sure you have it installed. Okay, I have it installed, so I don't know why I should get it installed, and you should know how to install a software. Okay, so make sure you get it installed. All right, now after you install it, okay, I'm moving this here so you can see whatever is going on. Okay, so this is what I need you to do. Don't pay attention to other things going on. I'm going to disclose things to you. Okay, so the first thing that we need to pay attention to is once you come to file, make sure you come to settings. Okay, in settings, it should open for you smoothly, and what we are going to do is come to output. Okay, in output we have streaming. You can obviously use this for streaming. Okay, and we also have recording. Okay, so come to recording, and since we are recording, we can't really do much over here, but these are the settings I'm using. You can take a screenshot of it and just go through to adjust yours, but make sure you are not exaggerating on the settings, because you should also consider your specs, okay, or the specs of your computer. So make sure you also keep that in mind. And this is the encoder settings. So depending on the type of computer or device you're using, the encoder settings should be different, but generally it should be similar to what you see over here. So you can also take a screenshot and go through and just to change the settings so that you can get the highest possible quality when you record. Okay, now let's click on okay, just to make sure everything is okay. So after you do that, you should have two tabs over here. One should be called scenes and one should be called sources. Okay, and since I have been using OBS for a longer time, I've been able to set all of these things up to the point where I have one for reaction videos. Okay, because I have a second channel where I record reaction videos, even though it's been a while. But let's not talk about that now. We have the YouTube setup, where I have this over here, my camera over here. Then I have the second screen for my second screen, and Instagram Reel, where I get to record Instagram Reel videos. Okay, so to be able to make OBS capture your screen, the first thing you need to do is to click on the plus icon over here to add a scene. So over here, you're going to rename it to anything. So you can just say Windows Capture. Okay, so you can just say Windows Capture, and you can see it will be blank. So this is what you would have. Now, every scene needs a source. Okay, so the source is wherever you're going to be picking your feed from. Okay, so once you come to the plus, you can see we have so many options over here. Okay, we have the audio input capture, audio output capture, browser, color source, display capture, blah blah blah. What we are looking for is the display capture. Okay, so make sure you are hitting on display capture, and you can create a new display capture. Okay, so once you do that, just add a new name, but I'll leave it as default. Now click OK. All right, so over here we have capture method and display. For the capture method, make sure you're choosing automatic. Okay, and the display, this is where you choose which particular monitors. If you have multiple monitors, you can choose them from here. Okay, but I will keep it where it is because I don't want to switch the next one. Or I can just select and choose the second screen. Okay, which is my second screen over here. Then I can choose OK or click OK. So we can see we have it over here. Now if I click on cut, it switches. Okay, so now just in case you don't use multiple monitors and you are just with your laptop screen, usually you would see something like this. Let me show you. You would see something like this. Okay, and don't be confused. This is because it's recording your screen, but let's assume your screen is recording another screen inside. The other screen inside is recording. Yeah, so don't worry. Okay, that's how it is. The only thing you need to do is that before you record your screen, once you hit on start recording, which I'm already recording. Okay, once you hit on start recording, you just have to minimize the display and just do whatever you want to do. That's all about it. And now, just in case you have other screens and all of that, what you can also do is you can hit on studio mode. Okay, just so that you can switch between the scenes. Okay, so I have my main camera over here, like you can see, and we also have my screen being recorded over here. Okay, once you record, your video should be saved in a particular drive. Okay, so let's come to file, let's come to show recordings. Okay, and these are some of my previous recordings. We can see them over here. Okay, so this is the current one that's being recorded, but with the previous ones, you can see these are some screen recordings I've made in the past. Okay, so this is what we are going to do before we move on to the next step. I would want you to come to file, come to settings. Okay, settings, and come to output and recording. Make sure that the recording format is MP4. Okay, usually it would be in MKV, I believe so. It would be in something like that, but that's not what we are looking for. It should be in MP4. So make sure the recording format is in MP4. This is because you would want your editing software to be able to pick your feed easily, okay, or your video easily and play them. And sometimes you'd want to be able to watch your videos before you start recording them. And if you're on Windows, MKV is not really the default format for your player. Okay, you need to buy an extension, and there's no need for that. Okay, so that's why you need to change this to that point. Okay, so now let's assume you finish recording your video. How do you edit your video? Or how do I edit my videos? Usually I use Premiere Pro to do that, but for the sake of a lot of you who are now entering into video editing, I'm going to be using CapCut, since number one, it's free to use and it's free to download for everyone. Okay, so if you are on desktop, make sure you head on to, where should we go? In fact, let me just switch, because I'll just okay, so yeah, let's go to CapCut. Nigerians usually say CapCut. Okay, so let's head on to CapCut, okay, .com. Nigerians usually say CapCut. CapCut.com. Okay, so once you come here, you can just download. I'll just come to download. We have download for Windows or Mac, or download for mobile. Okay, but since we are using our PC, we are going to go for download for Windows or Mac. Okay, so we can see CapCut is ready to download, and it should download quickly because it's basically going to download the installer for us. All right, so it's downloaded. Once I click on it, okay, or open file, you should see something like this. Okay, and this is where CapCut is actually going to download the actual software on your computer. Okay, but I have it installed already, so I'm going to skip this process. Okay, so once CapCut finishes downloading, you should see something like this, but you wouldn't have these two things in there. So in fact, let me even just delete, okay, so that we can just pretend this is fresh. Okay, so fresh. The first thing we need to do is to come to new project. Okay, so once we come to new project, this is what we have, and there are four main panels we have. Okay, this is for everything, the effect and all of that. This is the player, we have the details, and we have the timeline down here. Okay, so this is with CapCut, and the first or the second thing we need to do is to import our video. So to do that, we can click on the plus, and we can come into the screen recording folder where I have all my screen recording files. So I can just move it inside of CapCut, or select it and click open. Okay, then you can see it's been added into CapCut. But the mistake here is that you can see that if you want to post this as Instagram reel, this is the wrong dimension to use. All right, so what you can do is you can come into Canva, because I always like to have a background behind my main screen recording videos. Okay, so come into Canva and just come into reel. Okay, create a design and search for reel. Okay, so we have reel selected, and it should open nicely like that. Okay, then come into element, and what we are going to do is to search for abstract. Okay, abstract, and you should find a lot, but we want videos. Okay, so abstract, there are so many videos you can add. This is a beautiful video we can add. You can see how it's looking, so you can just set the video as background. Okay, lovely. Now this is it. Very, 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 very nice. Okay, so once you add it, you can just come to share, download, then you can download the video. In this case, you have to give Canva some time to download your video.
One eternity later.
Okay, Canva is done. Okay, so just say real background. Okay, so I'll just say real back. All right, then minimize it. Then what I'll do is I will delete this from the beginning. Okay, then I would want to import my reel first. Okay, so I'll come to my downloads. In my downloads, I'll just select this, move it in here first. Okay, so you can see, drag and drop it on the timeline first of all. Okay, then click on the import again, then we can add our video again. Okay, well, I think we could still have kept it there, and then rather drag it on the timeline. Yeah, that makes the difference. Okay, so the first thing I like to do is to speed up my videos. Okay, so in CapCut, come here into speed, and you can increase it. Okay, so you can increase it to anyone that was maybe 5x, and you can see it's been shortened because now the speed has increased. Since Instagram takes up to like 1 minute 30 seconds, you'd want the speed to be more. Okay, so you can see it's still more than, okay, I think it's just a little bit after 1 minute, so this is fine. If we play it, this is how it's going to look. Okay, so what we are going to do is we are going to increase the size of this. Okay, amazing. And what you need to understand is when I'm creating my views, some of the views I create, wherever the cursor moves, I try to focus on that area. Okay, and another thing you should notice that depending on the speed of the video, it might be very difficult to be able to do that tracking. Okay, so just also keep that in mind. All right, now this is what I'll do. I would, for the sake of the tracking, I would reduce the speed. Okay, so that it's very easy to follow the mouse. Okay, or our cursor. So you can see that the cursor was here, but it's moved. It just moved. Okay, so if we are to play, this is our cursor now. Okay, now let's make this the starting point and move it here. Okay, so once it's here, come into video. Okay, and in video, the position is what we are going to be playing with. Okay, but there's something called the keyframe. Keyframes are usually markers that define the starting point and ending point of any animation. So I can see that at this point in time, or at this time, the animation or the item or the element should be here, and by the time it gets to this particular time, it should move to this part. So the keyframe are just markers. Okay, that makes you determine the movement of any animation. So that's all. Okay, now at this point the cursor is here, so I would come to my position and click on the keyframe. Okay, then while the cursor moves, so I'll need to make sure I'm following. Okay, so while the cursor moves, I also come here to move my video accordingly. So I just drag it to the side. Okay, and it's mostly side by side. And if we are to go back, this is how it's going to look like. Okay, so you can see how things are looking, but you can see the keyframe is very slow because the gap in between is a lot. Okay, yeah, so we can zoom in from here. Okay, from this angle we can zoom in, then come in here and click on the keyframe and bring it closer. Okay, so how close the keyframes are will also determine the speed of the animation. Okay, so if I'm to come here, you can see it's a little bit faster. If I'm to bring it in and I bring the line back, you can see how it looks. You understand? So this is how the keyframe usually works. So the cursor is here, it moves here, you get it. Now the cursor is still in this area. Okay, so at this point the cursor is here, so I can come to click on the keyframe again. Okay, and just track it so it goes back. Okay, and all I just have to do is to move it here. Easy. Okay, so if we are to play it, this is how it looks. Okay, so you can see what we are doing. Okay, and it goes back again. So that's all you just have to do. You just have to be doing that. So I just select it again, or I just come into position, choose a keyframe, and once it goes back, I just track it. Okay, I just track it, and that's all about it. Okay, then I move it here. So this is what we have at the moment. Okay, lovely, lovely, lovely. So that's all I just get to do, just making sure I'm tracking the cursor. Okay, so I move here, and just making sure everything is just intact. So basically that's how everything works. You just have to make sure you're following the cursor and all of that. And if it's your first time, it will take you a while, but the more you practice, the more you get comfortable with doing all of that. And that's how I get to produce my reels. That has really skyrocketed my Instagram and my TikTok from 0 to Instagram is now over 100,000 and TikTok is over 9,000 now. And this happened very quickly as I started using these type of reels. And you can also use it for any software or any tool you like to work with. Okay, so let's assume we are finally done with our reel. Okay, I've shown you how I get to move with the cursor and all of that. The last thing I like to do is to add some cool music. Okay, and with the music I like to go into one of my favorite platforms, which is Artlist. Okay, all right, so here we are in Artlist, and I just find all my amazing sounds from here. Okay, this is one nice song. Okay, so if I like it, let me pause it. So if I like it, I can just download it. Okay, and download it as MP3. Okay, and you can see it's been downloaded. Then I can just come into CapCut, come to import. Okay, and just import the song. All right, beautiful in here. And that's all. I added to every reel or every video I make for my reel gets to have a unique song to match the vibe. So you can see it's very beautiful. Okay, lovely, lovely. That's all. Okay, so you can see how things are moving, and what you need to know is that there are certain points where, let's say, when the cursor is getting things moving, okay, you might spend a lot of time at a particular areas. There are times where you might just do that. So those areas you can just cut. Okay, so take so with CapCut we have A and B. So A is to select, B is to cut. Okay, so you see we have the razor tool. We can just cut, and maybe if I'm spending so much time over here, I can just cut and cut. Okay, then press A again, then select. Then we can come to the speed. Okay, and increase the speed for this particular area and snip it here. Okay, so that when it gets here, we can speed up. Okay, and that's all about it. And there are parts where we might not need, so just in case you don't need the particular section over here, I was searching for more flowers, which wasn't really necessary. So with this, I can just come all the way here and just cut it off. Okay, so select. Okay, so select it, then I can delete it. Okay, so you can see I've been able to delete it, and I can put this here just in case you are not able to move the other part or it keeps snipping. You should check from one of these settings. Okay, so I think one of this gets to turn off the snipping or the linking. Okay, so make sure you're checking it from here. All right, so that's with it. And once you really get this flowing, it makes editing reels very easy. And this is a process I get to use generally for every reel I get to create this time around. Okay, and I hope you found it helpful. If you did, let me know in the comment section below. If you liked it, if you enjoyed it, hit on the subscribe button. And if you want me to create maybe other videos concerning how I produce other things you want to learn from me, let me know in the comment section below. Okay, the name is Benjamin. Always remember there is no limit to creativity, and I should see you in my next video.